Captain Aaron leaned back in his ship's control chair, staring at the vast blackness of space before him. Stars stretched endlessly in every direction, twinkling like tiny fires scattered across a cold, silent void. He had traveled far beyond the reaches of known human colonies, venturing into uncharted space. This part of the galaxy was dangerous, filled with rogue asteroids, hostile space pirates, and planets barely fit for life. But for Aaron, danger was part of the job. Exploration and discovery were why humans reached out into the stars in the first place. Aaron adjusted the ship's sensors, scanning a small, rocky planet below. The readings were strange. A settlement, or what seemed like one, showed signs of life, but faint. Very faint. No civilization-level signals. Just small clusters of energy, almost like tiny, flickering lights scattered across the desert-like surface. This planet shouldn't even support life, he muttered to himself. Yet something, or someone, is down there. He made the decision quickly. As the captain of the human exploration vessel Aurora, he had protocols to follow. But something about the readings made him uneasy. Something about faint, weak life calls to those who needed help. He adjusted the ship's descent, entering the planet's thin atmosphere. Below, the rocky surface stretched endlessly, littered with jagged cliffs and craters. The lights on the sensors flickered and dimmed, and Aaron realized the source of life was moving, tiny figures navigating through the rocky terrain. Then he saw them, a woman and a small child, walking carefully through the rubble of what might have been their home. The woman was thin, her body showing signs of fatigue and hunger. Her clothes were ragged, torn in places, and dust coated her skin like a dull armor. The child clung to her hand, a little girl no older than 6 with wide, fearful eyes that darted around every shadow. Aaron's heart tightened. He had seen hardship in human colonies before, but the desperation of these two was raw, unshielded. They weren't just surviving, they were barely alive. "Bring them aboard," he said to the ship's AI. "I don't care what the regulations say. We can't just leave them there." The ship's landing sequence was smooth considering the rocky terrain. Dust rose in clouds as the Aurora touched down, and the woman froze, shielding her daughter instinctively. Aaron activated the external speakers in a calm, soft voice. "Hello. Don't be afraid. I'm here to help." The woman's eyes widened and the child stepped back behind her, trembling. Aaron could see the hesitation, the instinctual distrust of outsiders. He didn't blame them. In a galaxy where most outsiders brought harm, a stranger offering help could seem like a trick. "I promise," Aaron continued. "I won't hurt you. Come with me. You'll be safe." Slowly, almost cautiously, the woman stepped forward. Aaron saw the relief in her eyes when he extended a hand, then hesitated again. Finally, with a silent nod to her daughter, she let Aaron guide them toward the ship's entrance. The girl clung tightly to her mother, peeking up at Aaron with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Inside the ship, warmth and soft lights greeted them. The smell of recycled air and faint hum of machinery was foreign, yet comforting. Aaron motioned toward a small lounge area. "You can sit here. I'll get you food." The woman's lips trembled as she whispered something in a language Aaron did not understand. Her voice was soft, melodic, and there was a weight of sadness in it. She looked at her daughter and said it again, holding her close. Aaron realized it was probably reassurance, or perhaps a warning. Aaron decided words were not as important right now as action. He accessed the ship's kitchen system, preparing a nutrient-rich meal designed for human consumption. The smell of warm food was enough. The child's eyes widened, and she reached for the tray hesitantly. Aaron smiled and set it down before her. "You can eat," he said gently. "It's safe." The little girl's hand shook as she took a small bite. Her mother watched her carefully, then finally allowed herself to eat as well. Aaron observed them quietly, noting the way their bodies had grown thin, how their hands were calloused and how wary their movements were. These weren't just survivors, they were victims of something far worse than hunger. After they ate, the woman finally spoke in broken basic English. "Thank you," she said, her voice trembling. We have no home." She hesitated, glancing at her daughter. "They took everything," Aaron frowned. "Who took everything?" "Corporation." "Humans, aliens." "They came," she whispered, almost inaudible, her eyes filled with tears. "They burned, destroy." Aaron felt a spark of anger. He had faced ruthless corporate greed before, but seeing it in the eyes of someone who had lost everything brought a deep ache. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Leora," the woman said. "This is Naira." She gestured toward her daughter. "My little girl," Aaron nodded. "I'm Aaron, you're safe now. I'll help you." Leora's eyes met his, a mixture of hope and disbelief. Naira clung to her mother, glancing at Aaron with cautious curiosity. The little girl's eyes were wide and innocent, but there was a spark of intelligence and bravery in them. Aaron felt a strange connection, almost like he was meant to protect them, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. The rest of the day passed slowly. Aaron adjusted the ship's sensors to monitor the planet, ensuring no threats would follow them immediately. Leora and Naira explored the ship cautiously, marveling at strange human technologies. Aaron watched them with a mix of amusement and admiration. Despite everything, they still had curiosity and courage. "You are strong," he told Leora quietly. "Stronger than you think." Leora smiled faintly, a rare expression that seemed to carry years of hardship and hope. "I must be," she said softly. "For her." She gestured at Naira, who was now inspecting a small control panel with wide-eyed wonder. Aaron realized then that this mission had changed. He wasn't just exploring unknown space anymore. He had become their guardian, whether he had planned to or not, and he understood something humans had always known in their stories. Sometimes, strength was measured not by weapons or technology, but by courage, compassion, and the will to protect those who could not protect themselves. As night fell on the barren planet outside, the aurora floated quietly above the surface. Leora and Naira rested in a small cabin, exhausted but safe. Aaron sat in his chair, staring at the stars once more. The galaxy was vast, full of danger and opportunity, but here, in this tiny corner of the universe, he had found something worth fighting for, and he knew the challenges were only beginning. Somewhere out there, the forces that had destroyed Leora's home would come looking. The galaxy was not kind to those who intervened in corporate greed or injustice, but Aaron did not feel fear. He felt determination. Humanity had reached the stars not just to survive, but to make a difference, and now he was about to prove it. The first part of their journey had ended, but the true story, the story of courage, hope, and human determination, was only just beginning. Aaron would face dangers far greater than anything he had imagined, and Leora and Naira would learn to trust not just him, but the hope that one Earthling could make a difference in a universe that often seemed indifferent to suffering. For now, though, they rested. And for the first time in a long while, Leora allowed herself to hope. The aurora floated silently through space, its engines humming steadily. Captain Aaron watched the stars blur past, the endless darkness broken only by distant, flickering lights of faraway planets. Leora and Naira were slowly adjusting to life aboard the ship. The child's initial fear was fading, replaced with curiosity and a cautious sense of adventure. Leora, meanwhile, remained vigilant, scanning the ship's sensors and studying Aaron carefully. Aaron knew their time was limited. The planet they had left behind was dangerous, controlled by a ruthless corporate fleet that would not tolerate interference. He had intercepted signals suggesting patrols were searching for survivors, and anyone helping them. It was only a matter of time before someone came after them. "Are you hungry?" Aaron asked as he entered the small lounge. Leora and Naira were seated at a table, quietly sharing another meal. The child's tiny hands trembled as she held a fork. Naira looked up and nodded, smiling faintly. "Food good," she said in broken basic English. Her accent was soft and melodic. Aaron smiled. "Good. Eat as much as you like. You'll need your strength." Leora's gaze lingered on him. "You risk your ship for us?" she asked quietly. Her eyes were wide with disbelief, tinged with gratitude. "Most humans do not care," Aaron shook his head. "Some humans do care. Some humans, me, believe that helping those in need is the right thing to do." He paused, then added, "And you and your daughter, you need help." Leora's lips trembled and she glanced at Naira. The little girl was already eating faster now, her hunger driving her tiny hands. Leora whispered something in her language and Naira nodded obediently. Aaron realized that the bond between mother and child was stronger than anything else in this universe. They relied on each other, and now he had to protect them both. The days aboard the Aurora were quiet but tense. Aaron continued to monitor the surrounding space, scanning for patrol ships or pirates. He taught Naira small things: how to read the ship's displays, how to recognize incoming signals, and how to stay calm under pressure. Naira was a quick learner, her curiosity matched by her intelligence. Aaron could see the spark of bravery forming in her, a reflection of her mother's strength. "You're clever," he said one evening as they examined a star chart together. "I think you could become a great navigator one day." Naira's eyes sparkled. "Really?" she asked, her voice filled with excitement. "Really," Aaron said. "But first, you have to survive." He smiled, ruffling her hair gently. Meanwhile, Leora worked quietly in the ship's small lab, examining the few supplies Aaron had salvaged. She studied the systems, tested the air quality, and ensured the ship's shields were functioning properly. Her species was resourceful, able to adapt to harsh environments, and she brought her skills to bear to make the ship safer for all three of them. Aaron watched her work with admiration. "You're good at this," he said one day. Leora looked up, her eyes serious. "I had to survive. I teach Naira." "Survival," Aaron nodded. "And now, I'm going to make sure you have the chance to do more than survive. You'll have a life, a safe life." But danger was never far away. One morning, the ship's sensors picked up a faint, fast-moving signal. Aaron frowned. The signature was small but precise, too precise to be a random ship. He activated the scanner fully and his suspicions were confirmed. A corporate pursuit vessel was tracking them. "They found us," he said quietly. Leora froze. Naira looked up, frightened. "They come?" she asked. Aaron took a deep breath. "Yes, but don't worry. We'll be ready." He guided the Aurora into a nearby asteroid field. Rocks of all sizes floated lazily, some the size of buildings. The pursuit vessel followed, firing warning shots that ricocheted off larger asteroids. Aaron pushed the ship to its limits, weaving through the debris with skill born of years of training. "Stay close," he told Leora and Naira as they held onto the ship's rails. "It's going to get bumpy." Naira clung to her mother, her small hands gripping tightly. Leora held her daughter close, whispering soothing words in their language. Aaron watched them carefully. Despite the chaos outside, there was trust forming between them. They relied on him completely, and he intended to keep them safe. Aaron used human ingenuity to outmaneuver the pursuing vessel. He lured them toward a narrow canyon where the larger corporate ship could not follow. Using the ship's magnetic grapplers, he pulled small asteroids to block their path. The pursuing vessel had advanced weapons, but it was large and cumbersome compared to the nimble Aurora. With careful calculation, Aaron evaded every attack. Finally, after what felt like hours, the pursuit vessel gave up. Aaron exhaled deeply. Leora and Naira stared at him with wide eyes. "You saved us," Leora whispered. Her voice was filled with awe. "You risk your life." "For us," Aaron shook his head. "It's not about me. It's about keeping you safe. You're alive, that's what matters." That night, as the ship floated quietly among distant stars, the three shared a rare moment of peace. Leora and Naira sat near the observation window, watching the galaxy stretch endlessly before them. Aaron joined them, placing a hand gently on Naira's shoulder. "You see all those stars?" he asked. "Each one is a place you could go one day. A place you could be safe and free." Naira's eyes sparkled. "Really?" "Really," Aaron said. "And someday you'll help others too, just like you helped each other survive." Leora watched him quietly, her heart swelling with gratitude. "You are different," she said softly. "Most humans, they do not care. You care." Aaron smiled faintly. "Some humans do. We just have to show it. Actions speak louder than words." Over the next few days, the trio grew closer. Naira followed Aaron everywhere, learning about the ship and listening to stories about human exploration. Leora helped him repair minor systems and offered advice on navigating dangerous space environments. Together, they formed a small, unusual family, one born not of blood but of shared hardship and trust. But the galaxy was not forgiving. The corporate fleet had not abandoned their hunt. Aaron knew it was only a matter of time before they returned, more determined than ever. He began preparing for the worst, upgrading shields, stocking emergency supplies, and devising escape routes. One evening, while working on the ship's engines, Aaron noticed Leora studying a star chart. "You're planning something," he said. I need to understand where we can go," she replied. "They will follow us. We must find a place." "Safe," Aaron nodded. "I've thought about that. There's a system not far from here. Remote, uncharted, perfect for hiding. Leora's eyes lit up with hope. Then we go? Yes, Aaron said firmly, we go. And we stay hidden until we can figure out a way to fight back. Naira climbed onto Aaron's lap that night, her small hands clutching his arm. You promise? We safe? She asked sleepily. Aaron hugged her gently. I promise, he said. And he meant it. As the ship drifted silently through the stars, Aaron realized something important. Survival wasn't just about avoiding danger. It was about trust, courage, and hope. He had saved Leora and Naira, yes, but they had also given him something invaluable. A reason to fight. A reminder that humans could make a difference in a galaxy that often seemed indifferent. And Aaron knew that the journey ahead would test them all. Mother, daughter, and Earthling alike. But for now they had a small measure of safety. And in that safety, they found the strength to face whatever came next.